Several vehicles and people are still feared trapped in a bridge collapse in Majerhat in Kolkata. Emergency services are on ground zero, but this isn't the first time that a major bridge has collapsed in Kolkata. If you'd recall, in March 2016, an under construction flyover had collapsed in the Girish Park area of Kolkata. More than 14 people had died, more than 80 had been injured in that March 2016 incident. Fortunately, no fatal casualties have been reported at Majerhat tragedy today. It appears evident not many lessons have been learned. So what we know at this point of time, that this is a central section of the Majerhat flyover that collapsed in the evening. Some people have reportedly been injured. Several vehicles, including a bus, a minibus, some cars and some two-wheelers were trapped in the debris. As of now, there you're looking at live images. You have 3 teams of the National Disaster Relief Force and some units of the State Disaster Relief Force who are there on ground zero. They're trying to help locate people in the debris. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is travelling. She's in Darjeeling. She said the state government was carrying out relief operations and that was top priority. And I quickly want to take our viewers to ground zero, and perhaps this is an image of somebody who's been rescued from the debris. Indrajit, describe to us the latest in the relief and rescue operations.
Well, that's right, Gaurav. You know, we are on the other side of the bridge, and what we can sense from here is that there's a minibus. There's a red minibus which is stuck on the other side. If my camera person can zoom and show, and possibly somebody has been rescued from that. So these vehicles, as you can see, there are 3 private vehicles. There is one private bus which is on top of this this flyover, this portion of the flyover, which had collapsed on this canal. So what we are also given to understand, Gaurav, is if my camera person can show the scaffolding, there is a huge iron scaffolding on the other side. So what possibly, you know, we don't have technical expertise, but what locals here are telling us is that this entire stretch has seen construction for several years. You know, right after this flyover, there is another flyover called the Taratara flyover, and I can tell you from my personal experience that the flyover came into existence at around 2006 and 7. So there was construction going on there, and now what has happened is there is a metro connection which is happening, and therefore the scaffolding, so that there you know, this metro connection is also taking place. On the other side is the railway station. There is a Kolkata main, so there is a lot of construction activity happening. So possibly the ground, there are heavy machineries, there are heavy earth moving vehicles which have been deployed in this area for over the past several years now. So the earth could also have been you know, softened, given that there has been quite some rainfall since this morning, and even as we speak, you know, it started drizzling in this area. So it's going to be all the more difficult for the entire operation that's taking place, the operation to clear this debris and restore connection between central Kolkata and South Kolkata will be an Herculean task at this point in time, because the height from where this flyover has gone down, it could be anything but at least 50 to 60 feet from the ground. So you can imagine. So to get this entire debris to be cleared, and it's a huge girder, portion of the girder which has fallen down, would be an Herculean task for the administration. So West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee at this point is in North Bengal, and she's given soundbites saying that at this point the priority is rescue and relief. But as we have been stating, that you know, this entire situation that is unfolding right now, could this have been averted? Because you know, we don't travel to this area. The location we are standing, look at this, it's covered in muck. If my camera person can show, this is you know, this is a drain that is passing by, and this area is covered in muck. We are literally standing next to drainage. and of course we don't travel, we don't travel to this area. So we won't have seen this section of the flyover, and we would always be traveling over this flyover, and it never struck us that what is the condition beneath the flyover. But now that we've come here and we can see this location, it's terrible. There are pipelines, there are cables, the underneath road is dug up.
Also raining at this point of time, and is that hampering relief and rescue operations? That's point one. And point two, have emergency lights and generators been brought in? That was top priority. That will be required if relief operations have to continue through the night, Indrajit.
Well, that's right, because on the flyover, we can see halogen lights. You can see those lights. So the lights have been brought in. I'm sure generators and lights have been brought in on the top of the flyover right now. And as far as, so on the debris, I can see enough light so far. There are a lot of NDRF people, there are a lot of West Bengal Fire Service officials, and there are Kolkata police officials who are engaged in clearing the debris, engaged in the rescue operation per se, because the debris is not being cleared. They can't clear the debris so easily. But yes, I can see NDRF personnel with huge hammers and other cutting equipment there, because what they want to make sure is this crack that has happened right at the center, right at the middle of the bridge, where the portion from which it actually collapsed, whether or not there are people trapped there. That's the priority at this point. And of course, it started raining, it started drizzling, so this is likely to not just hamper the rescue and relief work, but what it will also do is, because I was there on top of this flyover from the joint from which it has collapsed, and there are cracks there. So what happens is, if it starts raining so badly, once again the rest of the portion of the flyover is already in a very tumultuous zone right now. It's not safe to venture into that area. And one of the biggest problems, we saw it in during the Vivekananda Road flyover collapse as well. Whenever such a tragedy takes place, the police, the first job is to sanitize that area. Unfortunately, in the previous instance in 2016, and even in this instance, what we are seeing is that hundreds of people, thousands of people have congregated in that area. They are trying to see what's happening, curious onlookers, and that is really thrown traffic out of gear in this entire area. So there has to be, passage given to the emergency services vehicles, to the ambulances. But at the same time, since majority of the personnel are deployed in that, a lot of people are, curious onlookers are gathering here, and that's in a sense going to hamper, this entire operation that's taking place right now. Back to you.
So what we're also being told, Indrajit, at this point of time, that there are 3 teams of the Eastern Command headquarters in Kolkata, 3 teams of engineers and relief parties of the Indian Army who are on standby. Why are they not being utilized? If they are also utilized, wouldn't it help sort out the situation faster?
Well, that's right. Last time when the incident took place at Vivekananda Road flyover, without much ado, the West Bengal state government had, called for the intervention of the army, and immediately as soon as the army was deployed, and I was there, so I could spot it. The traffic management was left to the Kolkata police, and the rescue and the relief operation was being carried out by the army. So it became a simultaneous effort, and then the process got expedited. What is happening right now is that the Kolkata police officials are only looking after, this entire zone to see the traffic, and mostly the fire services officials and the NDRF teams and the Kolkata Port Trust and the West Bengal disaster management groups and the Kolkata Port Trust disaster management teams, they are the ones who are operating at this point in time. So army hasn't been given a go-ahead. Initially, we were given to understand that some army had been deployed, but then the state government official, the minister here, refuted that claim, saying that the army had not been deployed, and he said that things were under control. So we'll have to wait and watch for some more time as to how soon can there be some semblance of order as far as this chaotic situation on the ground is concerned.
So who's responsible for the maintenance of this flyover, and prima facie, is it too early to know what happened, why this central section collapsed?
Well, that's right. The Chief Minister was asked this question and she said, let's not get into who is responsible for it. She said that it can be probed later and there'll of course be a probe. But, the concern is, and the biggest question, the most important question to raise here is, what about the maintenance of these flyovers? It was an under construction flyover which came down. So there wasn't any question of maintenance. But as far as this flyover is concerned, it's 40-year-old. It's in a terrible condition, it's dilapidated, and the mayor of Kolkata lives in the vicinity.
Yes.
So make no two ways about it. The mayor travels via this flyover every day. So if the mayor of Kolkata is using this flyover every day for his own personal commute, how is it that he was not aware of the situation underneath this flyover? As the locals here are alleging today, merely painting the flyover blue and white is not maintenance. So the questions have to be answered by the state government. We do not know who is in charge of the maintenance so far. We are given to understand that the Kolkata Port Trust has had constructed this flyover. We'll have to check and cross-check as to whether the Port Trust is still in charge of this flyover. But even if it is some external agency, be it the Port Trust or the Hooghly River Witch Commission or whatever, the nodal agency, it has to be the obligation, it has to be the duty of the state government, the State Urban Development Department, to oversee this maintenance, to make sure that whoever is responsible for this flyover is doing its job properly. And look there.
Indrajit, stay with me for a moment. We are getting a fresh reaction that is coming in. These, of course, are some of them are curious onlookers, but there's a reaction that's coming in from the West Bengal Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee. Let's quickly listen in.
কোনো পর্যন্ত কোনো ক্যাজুয়ালিটির খবর নেই, মানে কেউ মারা গেছে এরকম কোনো খবর নেই। 8 জন ইনজিওর্ড অবস্থায় পিজি হসপিটালে গেছে, বাট দে আর স্টেবল, কেউ মারা যায়নি এখনো পর্যন্ত। তবে একটাই সন্দেহ সবাই করছে, সেটা হচ্ছে ওই ব্রিজটার নিচে একটা ছোট্ট হাট ছিল, ছোট্ট ঝুপড়ি টাইপের, যেখানে আরবিএনএল এর মনে হয় যারা রেলের কাজ করছিল তাদের একটা ছোট্ট অফিস ছিল, যেখানে 4-5 জন লেবার থাকতো। তারা যদি আনফর্চুনেটলি সেখানে থেকে থাকে তাহলে তাদের হয়তো অঘটন ঘটে যেতে পারে।
Indrajit, Mamata Banerjee says that there were some laborers who were working and some who were living underneath the bridge. So do we know anything officially now about their status, their condition?
Well, that is exactly what the locals here are also telling us. That's the corner. If my camera person can show, on the right-hand corner, there was apparently, as I said, on the other side is a iron scaffolding, and that's where the metro railway station is being constructed. So we are given to understand that there was apparently a hut where some of the laborers who are contracted by the Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, or RVNL, they were staying. And what the Chief Minister has categorically stated, that had the laborers, she could not confirm, she's saying had the laborers been there at the time of this tragedy, then possibly some lives could be lost. So even she is not sure at this point, and that is exactly what is being done right now. The minister, if my camera person can zoom, if the camera person can zoom, the minister is there at this point on the other side, and we do not know. Okay, so there is the labor quarter. आप थोड़ा हट जाइए, हम दिखाएंगे. Apparently there's a torch light. थोड़ा हट जाइए, just थोड़ा हट जाइए, be careful. We will try and show, possibly there's something that is being recovered. We do not know if it's a body or not, but we'll try and show. This is the area right at the corner. Look what the police personnel are doing. It's a precarious situation. It's almost a drain, and it's very, very dirty. And the police officers are trying to see with that light that they have got, that whether there are anybody trapped there or not. Very interesting. Look there. If my camera person can zoom and show. I'll ask my camera person Tapas Berry to zoom and show. Look there, what's being done. It's complete, debris there. These are all. This is a drainage canal. there are only garbage on the other side, and sifting through that garbage, a West Bengal Fire Services official and a police officer using that light is trying to make their way into that small little cave-like area that has been formed. It is right at the junction of the girder, where apparently the possibility of somebody being struck is being expressed, and therefore people are anxious, they're excited, they're shouting. If my camera person can just zoom in, and we'll try and confirm if there is anybody still alive there. So very tricky situation. Some NDRF personnel, some West Bengal Fire Services officials, some locals. That's the hut that the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee just spoke to us about, and it's right at the corner. It's a very precarious area. I don't know whether they have got some noise, something, some signal, someone being alerted from that location, but they're somehow trying to figure out and make sure that nobody is stuck there. Gaurav.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking at these images. They appear to have found something. They're looking through the debris, and hopefully there are no fatal casualties in this disaster. There was also some information that was filtering in about metro construction activity happening. So were the agencies in touch with each other? We'll talk about that in a moment from now. We're also getting a reaction. A short while back, we spoke to the National Disaster Relief Force Director General Sanjay Kumar, DG NDRF. Let's quickly listen into him.
As soon as we got the information, one of our teams at Kolkata rushed for the site. Another team followed, and 2 more teams have been sent from battalion headquarters located at Haringata. This is a pancake kind of situation when the whole roof has come down, and some people might be trapped in that. We are trying to clear it as soon as possible. That's why 4 teams have been rushed to the spot so that the site is cleared as soon as possible. These teams are equipped to carry out their operation efficiently and during night time also. The heavy structure is there. We may need some earth movers also. With the help of a local administration, we may be arranging those, but then our teams are equipped to cut it open. But then safety is of prime importance, so all the safety factors will be taken into consideration while clearing the debris. That's why our teams are equipped to locate the life, like the life searching equipment, dog squad, etc., and then cut open the place where probability is there of some survivor. It's not very clear how many people are trapped, but then we'll carry out our operation in a professional manner as per the equipments and the life searching gadgets, etc., will be used to locate the persons and then carry out the evacuation work.
Indrajit, the situation on ground zero, so it does appear prima facie, now that more officials are getting there, that they seem to have found something, and hopefully there will be no fatal casualties. But 2 flyover collapses in between 2016 and 2018, is maintenance poor, or is there some other reason for it?
Well, clearly by the looks of it, there will be question marks as far as maintenance of this flyover is concerned. But Gaurav, let's just give you a sense. There's some amount of excitement with, we're right at the edge of this canal. On the other side, there's some amount of excitement amongst these rescue officials, because they are saying that they have got a mobile phone from inside that debris. And as we have been stating, as the Chief Minister just said, that there was a small little hut. There's a small little hut that was there right below the flyover, because right next to the flyover there was metro railway construction happening, and it was being conducted by the Rail Vikas Nigam Limited. So those laborers who had been contracted by the RVNL, they had put up a temporary shelter, and they would take rest there. So had those laborers been there at that time, then they could have perished in this crisis. And that is precisely where just a short while back the urban development minister himself came right at the crack and tried to figure out whether there were anybody there. And several rescue officials have now gone into that model zone, the cave which has now been formed, and they have just found a mobile phone and they are trying to figure out. There is not much light. In fact, they are asking us to keep our broadcast on so that the light. Okay, the police is here and the police officials are saying that please avoid more casualties because it's raining here. So basically they are hopeful that somebody might be trapped inside, and they're undertaking this Herculean task of entering into that cave-like structure next to the canal, sifting through the n number of garbage that's piled up right below this flyover next to the drain, the canal. And they're trying to say, okay, they're asking us to remain quiet, and because they're trying to speak to if anybody is trapped inside. They're trying to send message.
Fair enough.
They're trying to send an SOS.
That story.
They're trying to see if somebody
Okay, I will come back to you on the other side of a quick break. In case there's somebody trapped, hopefully they'll be able to rescue them alive. Indrajit Kundu, our man on ground zero, is keeping an eye on the latest. A quick break, back with the headlines, back with our top story. Stay with us.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.